Hey guys, how's it going? We're checking out the de Havilland Twin Otter for X-Plane 11 today. This particular model was created by RWD Designs, and I bought it off the X-Plane store a couple nights ago for like 20 bucks. It was on sale, so I figured, hey, you know what? I might as well get it. There is a freeware one, not from the same developer, but just in general, there is a free one that, is pretty okay. Like, it's not bad, but it's freeware. This one is, as you would hope, much higher quality. So we're going to check it out today. So the first thing we're going to do is, start this thing up. Let me turn off the depth of field here really quick. I just had that on for the intro, so it looked nice. We need to turn these on. Oh, actually, really quick, one interesting thing I feel I should note is that I have unchecked the option to start with engines running and everything. Usually, in most of the aircraft I've used, it will just have everything completely off, which, is kind of what I thought it was going to do. In this case, that's not what happens, I guess. The avionics and stuff is already on. All we really have to do is start the engines, which is, I like the option to, do a complete cold and dark. I know there's a way to do it. I'm probably just not doing something right. So the first thing we're gonna need to do, I guess, to just start it up. I've done this a few times now. I actually did like a rundown of this video yesterday. Well, I didn't mean for it to be a rundown, but it sucked, so I'm doing it again. These levers are so weird because you have to like whirligig your mouse all around the screen just to figure out what it's doing. So we want, throttle quarter of the way forward, props to feather, and fuel to on, I guess. Did I even do this down here? I don't. Okay, after a brief, re-watching of the video, I guess we want these up, which would make sense. But that shows off. I don't know, man. I'm pretty confused about this. Oh, what is my camera doing? Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. We should have everything in the right position. I'll give it a little bit more throttle this time as well. And hopefully there it goes. Yeah! We did it! Alright, we got one. Now we just got to do the other. And the switch doesn't move physically, but it is triggering to turn on. Beautiful! And, we can look down at our gauges here and see, I guess it's... Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. I should mention we're just going to be doing a basic flight today. I'll do another dedicated video on this where we actually, I guess maybe go more in depth with this, even though I have no idea how to use it, and maybe find out some more of its true limits, if you will. I'm kind of excited for that. I think that'll be kind of funny. We're starting here at Saba Airport, and we'll eventually make our way over to St. Bart's. Another interesting, I guess, quirk of this plane is the flaps. You can't just press the button and it goes down. You actually have to hold the button down so it'll go down, which it kind of annoyed me at first, I'm not gonna lie, but now that I've gotten used to it, and I have keybinds, look up and then look back, it's not an issue at all. Actually, I did some reading on it, and I guess one person's interpretation of it is that they were trying to simulate hydraulic flaps or something. I could be, again, completely wrong. I didn't look too much into it, and I was really tired. So I might be talking about something completely different. But anyway, we can go and head out to the actual runway now. Oh, that's why we're not moving at all. We need to put these back. I said, there we go. See, you just gotta drag your mouse the complete opposite direction. We probably could just go left and firewall the throttles, but I'm gonna do it the right way. I installed ortho scenery here, and you can see this runway is completely misaligned with where it actually is. I wonder if I can go into World Editor later and move this whole thing over just a wee bit to, get lined up. Hold on a second. What on earth? Are these just weird reflections? Or is there something actually... I think it's just reflections. That's odd. I've never seen that before. Let's take off. I'm sure it's just a visual thing. X-Plane's lighting is kind of weird at times. Hopefully the engines don't, come out being super, super loud. Oh my gosh, this runway's bumpy. I think moving it over will benefit a lot as well. Also because it's, we'll be able to get off of that, like, ledge there. I should say this livery is not included with the Twin Otter. This is one that I made. I got really bored last night and I wanted to make the livery, so I did. This took far too long for the for the result. This stuff is hard, man. I tell you what, it's quite a process even to just create a simple livery. Let's put our flaps up now. Yeah, see, look, the gauges are all cleared up. I think that's just a weird visual thing. Okay, we actually turned way too much. I guess we can turn, back and go this way. I don't actually know how to engage the vertical speed on this plane with the autopilot system. I only know how to just, press a button and it starts going and then adjust, heading and whatnot. To me, at least, this, could maybe be it. I don't think we quite need to go to 8,000 feet today. I think about 2,500 will do just fine. We're not doing a long flight. Realistically, it'd probably go a bit higher, but, for me, I don't really see that as necessary. And I'll screw up the approach doing that anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and... I don't know what that's doing. We'll do heading and airspeed. I don't even know how to mess with. So I'm just going to leave that now. What on earth are we doing? Oh, okay, we're just turning a little bit. That's fine. I guess I could, look around the cabin here. Are we just leveled off? Why are we leveled off? This is not what I wanted. Do we even have, like, vertical speed here? I know we're not at 2,000 feet. We're barely at 500. Okay, what I'm going to do at this point is just disengage the autopilot. There is no sound when you disengage the autopilot. I don't know if that's true to life or whatever. I think it, could be. That's totally possible, at least. Hold on, I'm going to pause here for a second so I don't crash this plane while I'm trying to figure out how the damn autopilot works. I'm sure it's one of these gauges. Vertical speed, feet per minute. Well, I can't really do anything about that. Alright, well, it looks like we're just gonna fly it manually to, our altitude or whatever, and then I'll get back to you guys after I've done that, and then we can go, do whatever else. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just kind of like, went into the map here and dragged the altitude up. For the sake of time, I think it's fine, hopefully it's not too much of an issue. Anywho, let's go ahead and, check out the cabin here. I will say this is modeled pretty well. I've already set up, views for various different seating options here, and I believe I guess I don't know. I thought you were able to turn on the light. It looks like you can. Anywho, back here, we have this door that we could open mid-flight, but I'm not going to. And then, you have 2 more seats back here. This can actually seat 19 people, which is fairly interesting. And you know what? I have to. I just have to. Oh, it won't let you. I wanted to open it in flight just for the funny of it, but it actually won't let you. That's kind of an interesting feature. Heading back up to the front here, there is, speaking of, capacity and whatnot, there is a checklist with everything. And you can even open your weight and balance settings here. You can, add payload or whatever. And all that stuff. I think the plane's getting a little confused at the fact that it's changing mid-flight, or maybe that's just, I don't know, I think it might just be a little bit windy. Anyway, I can show you the checklist as well, which spawns behind here. It took me like 30 seconds to figure out that you have to drag this out of the way. Alright, we can't zoom in on it. I'm trying to zoom in. I'm going, what's going on? Anywho, you've got all your pages here and everything. It goes into pretty high detail. Okay, what is going on with the plane here? Is it just windy or what? See, the reason I'm asking is because it seems very controlled for it being windy. You'd think it'd be somewhat turbulent or whatever. I don't know. I guess it's just doing whatever. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Another thing that I could talk about is actually why I haven't really been active on YouTube or Twitch recently. It's been about a month since I posted anything. I don't know, man. I guess I just I didn't really have any ideas, and I couldn't really bring myself to execute the ones that I did have because I just didn't feel like they were enough. And then also just school got in the way, and that's just kind of what's going on. I think I'm just gonna, skip ahead to when we're actually approaching the airport now, make it a little bit more interesting, and I'm just gonna hand fly it once we have to go down, because as you've all seen, apparently I'm too stupid to figure out how to activate the vertical speed mode. Okay, I've disengaged the autopilot. We're coming into land now. I've actually installed, the same custom scenery, actually, that was over at Saba that we had, the ortho scenery. I've gotten a tile for this island as well, that I made last night to get, so the slope in front of the runway would actually be there, and just so the scenery would look better in general. There it is. It looks really bad from here because it's not loading all the geometry of it, but you just have to take my word for it. You'll see it in a second. It actually looks super cool, especially when you compare it to the horrible looking default scenery for this airport. I think we're a little bit low. Let's use some of that speed and gain some altitude here. There we go. We'll put down just all of the flaps now, because why not? You know, we're pretty close anyway. You can start to see that the slope there in front of the runway. There it is. It looks fantastic. Comparatively speaking, of course. You know, I know there's a pay-where scenery for this place that looks absolutely phenomenal. I try to do, you know, everything I can for free. Do as much as I can, I guess. Also, don't expect a smooth landing. This is not exactly, you know, the best plane for smooth landings, but, you know, it can take hard landings. So I think we should be fine. These damn street lights are constantly in the way. You're dodging that more than you are actually dodging the hill. I'm gonna go idle throttle. We are fast and high. This might hurt. Yep, 355 feet per minute. We're gonna deploy the reverse thrust in midair. I can show you the true stopping capability of this plane. Absolutely incredible. That's what I love this thing. The Twin Otter is such a cool plane. I guess we should, you know, let's actually go to the gate. I was just gonna leave it on the runway and call it a day, but you know, we'll go in here at least. This thing taxis at like idle thrust pretty well because it just makes enough power. We can go and put the flaps up. I don't know how gates work here. This doesn't really make any sense to me. Everything is in a different orientation and it's kind of confusing. I'm not gonna be able to go in front right there, because I'm gonna, you know, drag my wing down the entire length of the terminal, which I'm not really looking to do. We're just gonna go right up to it. Hopefully this will, you know, be fine. There's an arrow pointing this way, which obviously means we're supposed to just do this, right? Oh, what the heck? Okay. The brakes weren't stopping us for a second. I'm like, did the ground just turn to ice? You know, I think we should get a little bit closer. You know, we can't have our passengers walking, using their legs. That's just absurd to expect of a human being. Alright, you know, I'd say I'd say this is pretty good for parking. You can't get much closer than this, can you? You know, they don't even have to step into the sun. Because, you know, that's just not acceptable. You know, being in the warm sun. You just can't have that. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. If you did enjoy, be sure to, you know, subscribe, like, and all that stuff. You know, YouTube doesn't really support the small channels or promote them, you know, recommend them, I should say, not promote them. That makes more sense. They don't really recommend them because, I don't know, they just don't, they don't care. That's, you know, my interpretation of it. I really got nothing else to say other than just leave a comment if you have any suggestions for future videos or just feedback on this one. You know, if there's anything I could do better. What happens if we do this? Do the engines just shut off? I mean, they should in theory, right? Because there's no fuel going to them. Whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna get out of here now. See you guys next time.